but it's going to be dirty. All right. So right now, what's important? Getting off to a fast start for these weeks, okay? So number one, having your advertising plan. When are you sending messages? How many messages a day? What campuses are getting hit? All that. You need to talk to your managers, and you guys are supposed to, those opening offices, have that today on what's happening to make sure there's a proper plan. Number two, we need staffing for receptionists. Everyone needs staffing. We need PRAs, and then we need help getting our staffing for our North office, which I just got someone from Facebook, and I'm going through, DMs, veterans. There was something with the filters on Facebook that happened in the past 2-3 days. All the DVMs were posting about it in our group, and I was like, what are they talking about? And then I saw people that were responding from November, December, that the messages went through, and they were like, oh, I just saw this, I'm so sorry, is it still available? Did you see that?
There's a BuzzFeed post going around saying that we lost secret messages in our messenger, so I checked mine too, and yeah, that's why.
The sharp girl I hired, she was like, yeah, I didn't even know that there's these messages you can't even see. She's like, you should check yours. And I was like, that's cool.
I like how she's
all right, I was super excited. She's so sharp. All right. But yeah, so anyway, everyone's learning that they have more messages in their feed, and they're checking them. So those of you who did work before, you should be getting some rewards of that work coming in right now. Because I've talked to 3 super sharp people, 2 that we need to meet with this week, and another really great one to get them involved with things. So that'll be coming through. But through that process, we need to load up. By the way, all calls are going to be going through 5 hubs this summer. Incoming calls. All right. And by the way, Jordan will have his own and Eric will have his own. They'll be joining our hub in the fall. But for the summer, besides Eric and Jordan, all calls will be going through Kinnemore's office for the South guys. Cody's office for Sealy, Brenham, Waller are going through there. We're going to be setting up a call center at Melissa's office, where I'm going to run all the north side. And then on the east side at Riddy's office, we're going to set up a call center for all the east side crew over there. So that way it makes it a lot easier. And then my office will have several through there. But it'll make it easier for Lorena and I to make sure those 5 key places, plus obviously Eric and Jordan, are fully supported, and that we're taking care of all the calls for the summer. So any of you guys who have friends who'd be excited about receptionist jobs starts May 1st, but all the training is happening now. They come to one of these. The sooner they can come in, the better. Saturday, April 16th, 2 weeks. There's a training at my office. The next Saturday, there's one at North Houston. The next week, there's one on the east side in Deer Park, okay? Get your girls to one of those trainings so they can get good, all right? Why do you want to have them hired by here?
So they're ready to go. So the time Macon's around.
Why do you want them hired here and not just coming to the recruiting kickoff on the 14th?
Because they're not trained. Experience.
Oh,
Mailers.
Okay.
Your best people, your mailers, everyone, by the way, these guys, this is where it gets really busy. I don't want my receptionists just learning the job here. Now, will we have some that are just learning the job there? Yes, but I want as many trained and having at least 2 weeks worth of experience before the recruiting kickoff. Does everyone understand that? DMs, everyone. So important. We want them going to the recruiting kickoff ready to dominate the next 5 weeks, because that's our goal to recruiting. What happens? All the college kids come home. UT, Texas Tech, they're the latest. They get back here. A&M, Lynn, Sam Houston, all the Houston schools are done with finals here. Okay? So all the local guys are here. All the ones away, they're getting back here. So we want them ready to answer those calls, because we will get 10,000 plus calls about the job through different call centers. So we want to make sure we're ready to go to support these people. All right? So we don't want girls who are like nervous and scared, answering a call. We want them super comfortable, like, oh, hey, yeah, I can help you with that. Going through feeling good with the phones, with the system, how to set people up. So we want to make sure that we have them in advance, all right? How do we get receptionists right now? How do we get receptionists right now? Facebook, what else?
Talk to your friends up in college.
Put up posts, put up Twitters, put up Snapchats. By the way, we have receptionist posters, we have flyers that we put out. You guys check in on your friends, who'd be down to help at least 10 to 15 hours a week in an office, maybe more if they're good, and then make some other money, selling, or even if they have another job, they can still help us out. So anyway, this is the flow here. So PRs are a big part of our summer. So all the DMs, everyone that I've met with for CAPS already, we've talked about this, but for most top offices, the bigger you go, 70, it's between 65 and 70. If you look at reports, 67, 66, 68, 69, 70. But this much of recruits are PRs, okay? So as I looked at some of the different numbers from last summer, it's like, so if you want to launch out 125 people this summer for your branch office, we have to be going for 75, plus PRs, all right? If you're going for 100 launched out, you need 60 to 70 PRs, all right? And then 80, which is the number for most branches, that's the average branch, that's how we put it. Well, you want to be focused on 50 PRs. So the system that we gave you guys in schedule is based on getting 50 PRs. Those who want to go bigger, you need more. So what have we done to just make this easy? Instead of PRs happening all the time, we really just honed in on it. And Mary Lou's going to walk through what to do Saturday, Sundays, and then some of you are also going to have a blitz on Monday or Wednesday, your offices, okay? So pillar, like in my office, we're having a blitz 3 days a week, and then we still have a fourth day that we're still going strong, just not with everybody. All right, but Saturday and Sundays are the days where I just want to max out. So what we did as a division, starting the following week, okay, of May, is that on Saturdays, divisionally, we have a blitz happening from 11 to 4. Anyone who's an assistant manager will be in from 10 to 5 to set things up and kind of get a head start, and then make sure we hit the number right after. On Sundays, our girls will be in for blitz from 2 to 7. By the way, can you adjust the time in your office? Yes, but this is what we're going to be rolling with because it makes the most sense for everyone. So 2 to 7. So if you have church till later, then you push yours later. But 2 to 7, which means whoever AMs are in that day, helping with the PR blitz, they're going to be in at least 1 to 8. So almost every AM will be at least in one of these. Some of you will be in both of those. All right, branches, DMs, this is go time. All right. So we have the blitzes here. So these you want to maximize, and there's going to be some people, especially during those big 4 or 5 weeks, that you'll get extra help because they'll bring their sister, their best friend. Like maybe they don't want a full summer job, but they're down to make $50 to come work for 7 hours. You're like, hey, I'll give you $50. All right. Some of you don't have extra cash, so you can't do that. But those who put money away, you're like, come, let's go. I want to get more people scheduled. All right. Because that's going to be more people out the door. And what's cool is there's nothing else happening during this time. Training was Thursday and Friday. We have workshops in the morning. Now your reps are out doing demos. Yes, they're going to call in, for help with sales and stuff. But now we have 100% focus to go, all right, let's do this. So we'll see your goal's 10, your goal's 10. We have all the names on the board. She's going to walk through that. And you're able to launch that out and just be driving that. You're answering PDI, but you're high-fiving your girls. And you're just driving this jam. DMs, as soon as you're able, you want to have a PR manager. Some of you already have someone in place for that, but you want to have someone who their job is to make sure that number of 200 PR set per week or whatever your number is gets set every single week, no matter what. So if your goal is to set 150, you're like, all right, on these days, we're going to go for 60 each of these days, and then we'll go for 30 on Monday. Cool. So if I want 60, I need 5 girls there, and then my staff, we're going to get it done, all right? Or I need 6 girls. I'm making sure you have enough bodies to get it done, all right? Another part of enough bodies is enough names, right? At the retreat, a couple weeks ago, we went through the collection, and, we went through the approach with the collection, and it's making sure you're feeling really comfortable with collection, going back and watching Mary Lou do the delivery of that again, because we have that recorded on our YouTube channel, and making sure you have that's a call, all right? So anyway, you've got Saturday, Sunday, a pure focus blitz. On Sunday, you're kicking it off and getting things going, but then many of you will have your reps coming in around 4 or 5. But that's great because then you can also see who else has commented on their Facebooks or whatever. You can let them know, hey, we're only 17 away from our goal, or 20. You know, like if we can get 2 from each of you guys coming in, we're going to hit our goal for today. And making sure that we're driving that number of 60 scheduled that day, or 50 scheduled that day, or 40 scheduled that day, whatever is the number that you need to focus on to make sure you're getting that hit. So we did it like this, and then again on Monday or Wednesday. So for most offices, your incoming is going through the call center. So if you guys looked at the document I sent on Sunday, it walked through to have additional coverage Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? And so you'll see that the hours, when to have it. I outlined it all for you. And if you want to go a little more, you can go a little bit extra. We're going to be doing this all through cell phones. The cell phones are with, right now, we did it with Metro. Last year, they were buy one, get one free when we bought our cell phones. And they were like $35 and we got one free. Right now, they're like $19 each. So it was $40 for 2 phones, but like good smartphones. So I already put that into the expense. But some of you guys are going for 4 cell phones. Or you want 4 callers because you're trying to go for 50 or 60, set each week. So you've got the cell phones. So what we're going to be doing is we'll call them and then we'll shoot them a text if they don't pick up. Hey, your buddy had recommended you, whatever. Let me know when you have a minute to talk. And as people text you back, then you'll keep scheduling those. All right. I know there'll be some people who will just text right off the bat. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. In the pilot, we're going to call twice and text, like double tap text. All right. But if you want to just text your people and then just call people as they respond, you can do that too. All right. By the way, those are 2 test groups that I'm a part of with PRs nationally. They both work. I'm going with double tap text is what we're going to be doing in the pilot. And then sometimes if I'm too busy and I can't get to it, then I'll just text them and I'll just call the ones that answered me. All right. And the next day I'll double tap. So you'll see what's happening in your office, what your guys' plans are there.
Okay, so the in-office coverage, our PRAs are going to be on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's when they are. Am I right? That's those 3 days.
Look at the document I sent you guys. Saturday, Sundays when they're both there for the Blitz, plus 1 or 2 others, and then there's extra coverage Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, one person.
That's what I have here, but beyond that, are they going to be with us any other time during the week?
You can afford it and you want to, but no, we're just focused on here. So it'll be, some of you guys will want more coverage, some of you guys, that's it. You just have your reps and everyone their phone jamming and going through, all right? So those who have more money, you can have more hours, all right? I want to make sure they're just being productive during that time. So we want to have it focused, and I'm going to hand it over to Mary Lou to go through that. But things that, before she walks through like the kickoff and just like the importance of this. So we got Saturday and Sunday that we're traditionally calling. Now on Sunday, you might have reps that come in and they're like, oh, Olivia, Sunday's your day that you're in. And they're like, Olivia, my friend's looking for a job. Boom. And they hand the phone over to you. All right. You need to be able to be like, hey, what's up? And just chat with them. So we have a very, very simple rep-driven PR script for managers that some of you guys have seen and have. So I want to make sure you guys have this. So grab one and pass them down. Grab one and pass them down. Grab one and pass them down. All right. So by the way, you have your traditional PR scripts that many of you guys have. So when they ask you, oh, what is it or whatever, like if they ask more questions, then you can go into that. But this is a very simple. So Olivia, you come to me and you're like, hey, Kat, I have my friend on the phone that is looking for work, or whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I'll grab the phone from you. All right. So everyone just read along. So I'm like, hey, what's up? Mary Lou, how's your day going?
Oh, it's going great.
Like, hey, I won't take much of your time. Olivia just said you may be a good fit for what we do here, so I asked her to call you. But currently, we're looking to fill some part-time customer service sales positions with a $16 starting pay. We have extremely flexible hours, great school perks. We actually award 100 scholarships a year, and you can even earn college credit. Like, so are you going to Lone Star right now, or are you going to, online classes? Okay, cool. So you're at HTC. All right, awesome. And how did you know her? Because I know she's going to Lone Star right now. How did you meet Olivia?
We went to Langham together.
Ah, very nice. Cool. And are you working anywhere right now? So if you guys want to make a note right here, the ... is build rapport. So make a note for yourself. This is where you're like, oh, so did you know them from here? Did you know her from Langham? Or did you guys meet at bartending, or, you know, how did you guys meet? And they're like, oh yeah, I met her bartending. Oh yeah, I met her, you know, at school, or I knew her from high school. So you're just chatting it up a little bit, cool? And so once you guys were chatting, like, well, hey, look, since Olivia recommended you, I'd like to just set up a time for you to come in, meet with one of our assistant managers, or you can say meet with me. So I'd love to set up a time so we can meet. That way we can get to know you better, go through all the details, and then we can go from there. Cool? Hey, what do you have going on later today or tomorrow to see if I can make something work? And they're like, oh, I have this. Okay, what time do you have work? What time do you have this? I'm like, all right. And I'm like, hey, I have a time that I can actually meet at blank time. Most of the time, they're like, all right, cool, perfect. And we set it up. And if they say no, I'm like, hey, no problem. We are trying to make some decisions by Wednesday. What does your schedule look like the next couple of days to see what I can find and see what we can do to make it work, all right? And then you're just firming up there. And guys, this is just a basic outline. Here's what I'm going to tell you. You just gotta chat. You're just comfortable with them. You're just saying, hey, what are we saying? The reason we're talking to them is why? We have some openings. Cool. Your friend recommended you. We love her. And so we find out a little, are you working right now? Are you in school? How did you know them? You build rapport and say, hey, look, I'd love to meet you. Like, that's all you're doing. Why am I calling you? Because we have openings. All right. I'm building rapport with them. And then I'm saying, hey, I'd love to meet to discuss details. And we're just finding a time to meet with them. That is your flow of your conversation. Okay. So say hello, build rapport, let them know why the heck they got a phone call or why you're talking to them. Sometimes they already know because their friend was like, here, talk to her about the details. I'm like, yeah, I had to call you. We had some openings available. And did you know from high school? Did you know from bartending? Like, how'd you know her? We're chatting. And well, hey, you sound great. Hey, let's set up a time so we can just meet. We can meet, go over all the details. We'll go from there. And then you set them up for a time. All right. So that's what you're doing there. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick second here. And you guys stand up, stretch your bums. I want you guys to role play this twice real quick, and then we're going to move into the actual blitz and the kickoff. All right. So go. I want you guys comfortable with this. DMs too, because you guys just want to be really comfortable. You can do your own approach. Those of you guys just like alley-oop. I want to hear you guys. Go. Stand up.
Yeah.
You want to stand, you can.
You'll get him, Tiger. You show him. Show him. Both show each other. Oh, we're streaming live.
Pretty good. Very loose said he may be a good fit. So I'd asked him
I go to HBU.
Alright, so what's your major?
I'm studying. I don't know, my dad's in
How's your day going? Good. All right, I'll take you for a time. So I asked her to see a call. Currently, we are looking for part-time customer service. Are you where do you go? You're late, bro. I have a good friend goes there. I know Olivia goes there too. Is he right there or I go see
I'm not sure you know, but
where's your Single Ranch? Really? I was yeah, I
So the proposed.
Hey guys, yo, real quick, I'm gonna interrupt. We're gonna do this again, but this is actually one of the few things as managers or in Cutco. It's one of the few things where you don't have. This isn't like an actual approach. Like you're just chatting with them. I wrote an approach for someone who has no idea what to say. And you can go through, but this is a very personal, like, hey, what's up? And it's literally why we're calling, all right? So why? What's the why? Tell me.
Why?
Opening.
We have opening. School? That's it. So we have position available, whatever. That's why we're calling, all right? Letting them know the perks of the openings. What perks do you want to make sure you talk about? Scholarships, all right? Flexible. Scholarships, all right, college credits. Well, yeah, pay's good, right? So why are we calling? We have what? Openings. What's great about the openings? They are flexible. You can get scholarships, college credit. You can make some great income, all right? And by the way, rapport can happen before or after. Wherever, listen up, wherever it naturally happens, okay? Wherever, because usually the rapport is built into when you're talking about that, like, oh, you're at school, like this is built together, and like this is happening at the same time, because you're asking about school, you're asking about, when they say school, I'm like, oh, South, do you work anywhere? Oh, just so you know, it's super flexible, you know? So like, as you're sharing the perks of the job, you're getting to know that, all right? So, when the additional report, which is like, oh, how'd you know them? Where'd you go? Whatever, you know, like maybe you're asking stuff here, but you're just chatting with them. We're calling because we have openings, all right? Do they work? Do they go to school? You know, you're letting them know the perks of the job, and then you want to set up a time to meet.
Is that one-on-one or?
All right.
Is that one-on-one or for your interview?
Either one. All right. So depending who you're talking to, some of these might be some of the steroids you want to run because they're like razor sharp and you want to get one-on-one time with them. Others, you'll put them in a group because you just want to have a nice group of 5, 6, 7 people together and go through the details at one shot. All right. But why are you calling? Perks of the job and finding out, do they go to school? Do they go to whatever? And then, hey, I'd love to set up a time to meet to go over the details, and you actually schedule them for a time. All right. So that's the flow of this. So I'm going to put music back on so you guys can roll through it. If you want to use the approach to go through it, you can. If not, try to have a conversation. But I want you guys to get really comfortable with this, where you're just like, hey, what's up? Here's what we're calling. We have some openings. Da, da, da. Did you know so-and-so from school? That, whatever. Oh, where do you say? Oh, well, just so you know, we have da, 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 da. Hey, I'd love to just meet up. That way we can sit, go through all the details. You can learn about it. We can just go from there. Cool? What's your schedule look like the next couple of days? Let's find a time. All right? Ready, set, go.
Dang, girl, you're on that Ignite thing.
Cool.
You want to go?
It's
going good. Oh, it's Tomorrow I'm actually at yeah, I can make too much of your time.
And then we can go from there. What do you have going later today? Alright, well, how about tomorrow? Okay, so I'm going to send you a confirmation via email. What email can I send you? Daniel, the interview will take about an hour. So dress nice, bring something, get your phone, take notes.
Yeah, I know you're working.
Do you want step by step?
Don't worry about it. Yeah. It's okay. Gotta yell at me talking to me.
I'm doing fantastic. Your friend Customer service and the $60 per hour pay. We have extremely flexible hours. Are you a student? Yeah, you're a senior in high school. Where do you go? Sci Fair? Okay, my sister actually goes to Sci Lakes. Yeah, we're 100 scholarships a year. It's super many about earning college credit, so you'll be ahead of time. Stuff like that. Do you play any sports or what do you do? Any activities? Martial arts? Okay. Oh man, that's awesome, man. All right, well, since we're trying to meet, I'd like to set the time for you to come in and meet with me. That way we get to know you better and go through all the details in person, and then we can go from there. How does that sound? Yeah. So what do you have going on here today?
Everything's on the surface. We're big today.
See you actually, my lunch is good. Sounds good. You want to meet up and maybe to try lunch together and stuff like that?
I'll see you right
Yeah,
here.
all right. Well, I'm going to send this confirmation email. What's your email address? Okay. All right. Well, hey, James, the interview will take about an hour. Make sure to just sharp up boy jeans and sneakers. Bring something.
All right, grab seats. By the way, something I was just thinking about, because we're gonna break out the when Mary Lou's done here, the AMs, we're gonna break out in the other room. Because the offices that are opening, we're going over our advanced training program for the summer and some tweaks. Easiest way to be the most consistent to explain the job at MBR, you can check this out. So it's one approach, you're always explaining the job the same way, is the face-to-face approach. We're like, hey, we're a big college student work program, like you guys have that approach, and I'll post it again with the face-to-face recruiting. That description is what I've used forever. When I recruit on campus, when I talk to PRs on the phone, when I talk to people on campus face-to-face. And so if you can learn that little paragraph, and when I'm in conversation, a lot of that stuff will just that's just what comes out of my brain because it's how I explain the job. But I always like to talk about the school perks first. And if you guys, in the GCLA group, you guys have it probably pretty far back in the gallery. We were using this during the holidays, but I'll repost it so we have it sooner on up. All right, but you guys want to just, if you get that down, so it says like new era clipboarding or whatever, so I'll put it back up there. But it goes through and it just says, well, hey, the job's an entry-level customer sales service position. We're a national college student program designed to teach and hone presentation skills, interpersonal skills, time management, organization, networking, just among other things. But we offer 100 scholarships annually. Students can even earn college credits. So the job attracts a lot of college students and high school seniors. But we do work with non-students too. You're like, you're a student at blank, right? And you're chatting like, all right, cool. Well, hey, basically our reps work with customers one-on-one, face-to-face. We don't do any door-to-door, telemarketing, or cold calling. They answer our product, short products, answer questions, help them place orders. You're pretty comfortable with people? Okay, awesome. So they ask you what the job is or how it works. If you guys can just always, that's what, you only have to learn one approach because that's how you explain the job all the time, And so just always talking about the perks, the job, hey, come check it out, all right? Don't forget, the knives are the vehicle what we do, but it's really the job is designed to teach the presentation skills, interpersonal skills, time management, organization, that's what it's designed to do. And really help people gain confidence in interpersonal skills. So I'll repost that into the group. But I'm going to and I want to keep the AMs in here still for this part, and then we're going to split into our breakout, our first breakout. But I wanted Mary Lou to walk through and just all the AMs, what's going to be going down. How do we really maximize this? And so one, we've got to be on our game all the time, right? Like if someone hands us a phone, we're at team night, whatever, you're like, oh yeah, and they give you the phone, that you're able to talk to someone, explain the basics of the position, schedule them to meet with them, all right? And you can meet with them at Starbucks, you can meet with them at the office, you can meet with them just depending what interviews you're running, or guys who are giving the PRs, obviously they'll come to the office. But I want to make sure that everyone knows how to set up So this is all DMs. No one, I don't know that anyone like ran this fully this past year. We're just making sure we're setting up the blitzes the right way. She's going to walk through how to set up a blitz the right way. So organization that happens prior, things that you want to have, board setup to just set up a blitz. She's really good at that, and bones of setting up in advance, making sure we have everything we need to execute a blitz the right way, and then driving that. By the way, Mary Lou ran our PR program. She was my PR manager in 2012 and 2013. And those did $1 million plus in business from the PR program that she led, and led us to our first $2 million year and 4 silver cups during that period. Okay, so this was her specialty. This is why I asked her to move here with me, because I know that if we rock the PR program, you're going to rock an office and rock an organization. So I'm going to hand it off to her. Rep Driven is awesome. We did a great job with that last year. But if you really drive your traditional PR program and combine your Rep Driven with it, that's where you have the explosive results. That's where Bobby, we'll see all of you guys go for those $1 million years still. Like we're like at nothing. But then like we go out, and that's what we did last summer, and we really drive our traditional properly, and then we add to it the Rep Driven. Cool? So I'm going to hand off to Mary Lou.
Yay. You don't need to applaud, it's okay. Thanks guys, I appreciate it. P.S. I just want to mention, when I used to run these meetings, I had no idea what I was doing. I was like 18 years old, and I literally had no idea. So if I could do it, you guys could definitely do it. So anyway, so a couple things need to happen prior to the meeting. So we'll kind of walk through that. After I walk through that, I'll give you my bullet points of everything that I covered every single receptionist kickoff. And then after, I'll tell you what to do during the phone jam to make sure that you're really driving that number. So there's a couple things that come into play when it comes to the receptionist meeting. The first one is consistency, okay? Whatever you do at one receptionist meeting, you have to do at every single one. So if at every single receptionist meeting, you're going to ask them what's hot, what could have gone better this week, you want to do it every single time. Receptionists, typically, how many of you know what CVI is? Yeah. CVI, okay, cool. Most of you do. If you don't, just ask your partner on a break. They'll explain some of it to you, even though it takes a while to explain. Most of our receptionists, their CVI is primarily what?
Merchant innovator.
Or?
Merchant builder.
Banker.
What?
Right?
What?
Yeah, merchant banker. Banker, merchants. A lot of them, they value organization, right? They value consistency. And also receptionists. So that's the first thing. The second thing is just naturally, no matter what CVI score they are, they're very impressionable. Remember, they've only just started working with you, so everything you do, they're going to take note of. So if you're consistent in everything that you do, they're going to be more comfortable being a part of your organization. Is this making sense? Yes? Can I get a vocal yes?
Yes.
Okay, great. Perfect. So here's just some of the things you want to do beforehand. So I'll put pre-blitz. So the number one most important thing is to rank your list. And Kathy, how much time do I have, by the way, so I know? How much time do I have? Okay, cool. So you want to rank your list. In our office, we rank them on a scale of 1 to 3, and then we have like our star list. Our stars, they look like this on the top. So we have like our star ones, we got our 1s, our 2s, and our 3s. The 3s are like you want to basically hide these in a drawer, and make sure nobody finds them. They're just like bad lists, like. Basically, the person that's on your team, you gave them a chance because, they really sold themselves and you believe in them or whatever. Maybe they pick out on their list, like, their top people, and those are the only ones you call from it. But it's not necessarily somebody you'd want to, like, multiply on your team. Those lists don't even make the cut for Sunday PR Blitz. Cool? Then you have your 2s. Your 2s are, like, your mid-level representatives, all right? You would give this to, like, a receptionist that just started with you. That gets decent numbers, not like the best ones in your office. The 1s, these are going to go to your best receptionists, okay? So for me in my office, the 1s go to Lorena. Then you have your star 1s. These are the ones that only Kathy and myself call, or myself. Lorena doesn't even call them. I'm literally the only one that speaks to them. So these are the ones that you're going to call. I don't care if there's 200 people on that list, and you're like, I just want to make sure I get through it. It's better for you to put more time into calling that list that PR Blitz day and the next day taking time out of your schedule from something else to finish that list than to give it to a receptionist that's not going to get those people in. Does that make sense? Cool. So you have your star ones, your 2s, and 3s. Now, the reason why I say you want to rank them is before the meeting, you want to create stacks on your desk. I used to do this every meeting. I would have my list, and I would just keep them with me. No one would touch them. Then I had the stack of 1s and the stack of 2s. And during the meeting, I would tell them, Dawson, Taylor, you guys are going to be on these lists right here. I wouldn't tell them what 2s or 1s meant because I didn't want them to know that I was giving them like a bad list, or not a bad list, but like a mid-level list. So I'd just be like, you guys are on group 2. So group 2, you're going to call this list. Group 1, you're going to call this stack. And this also helps you manage the group throughout the phone jam so they don't constantly come up to you asking, hey, what list can I call? That's like the most annoying thing in the world. So just make sure you have that stacked up there. The second thing you want to do pre-Blitz is to set up your board, which I'll show you what you do. So my favorite way to track it is I love to track per hour because I love to drive the per hour number because at the end of the day, if you drive your receptionist per hour, it's going to contribute obviously to the bigger number. And sometimes they feel overwhelmed when you're like especially in Miami, sometimes we would have Blitz days where we're like, we need to set 175 people today. And there's not the largest group of girls in the room. And if you tell them that, they psych themselves out. They're like, oh my gosh, like that's crazy, versus if you give them just a targeted goal per hour. If you're like, hey, Brandon, in order for us to hit our goal today, all I need you to do is to book 2.5, an average, 2.5 people per hour. You think you can do that? Like that's a lot less intimidating than saying we need to set 175 people today for interviews, So this is how we set up the board. So you put name, you draw this on your paper, whatever. Then from the time that you end the Blitz, so you just want to set up the columns, and then once your Blitz stays over, or once your pre-meeting huddle's over, then you'll fill in the times. But let's say we finish, our pre-meeting huddle at 1:30, then the first hour is 1:30 to 2:30, et cetera, et cetera. And I also plan their break in here too. I already put it into like the tracker, so there's no excuses of like, oh, I didn't set whatever at this hour because I was on a break. It's like, nah, girl, I knew when your break was. I put it in your schedule. So let's say this is their break from like 3:30 to 4, so break. And then they're going to keep going from 4 to 5, 5 to 6, and so on and so forth. So as they book people, so let's say we have like Philippe. I never spell your name right. 1 L. Okay. So Philippe. Then let's say the first hour. Let's say we have Philippe, we have Brooke, and we have Ryan, right? Let's say that, the first hour comes around, Philippe books 3, Brooke books 2, and Ryan books 1, right? And Ryan books 1. So after every single hour, I used to have an alarm on my phone like 2 minutes before the hour, or like 5 minutes before the hour, and I used to go inside the receptionist room 5 minutes before and be like, guys, 5 minutes to the hour. Ryan, you still have 1 more to go. Can you get somebody on the phone real quick? Let's see how many calls we can make so we can get somebody on the phone and book that 1 more person. Brooke, nice job hitting your 2 per hour. Let's see if we can get 1 more because Philippe is beating you. He has 3. Hey, Philippe, nice job. Let's see if we can get, an extra person, for this hour or whatever. And I would come around and I would track it this way, and I would circle whenever they would hit the standard. I'll circle it just like that. And then I would keep track of the total. Or some weeks the girls really wanted to know what the total number was. And so I used to have a scratch off on the top where literally it was a countdown from 100, down to 1. And they would scratch it off every single time. So what you do with the total number is up to you. The point of the board, though, is to drive the per hour number. Because then at the end of the hour, let's say Ryan didn't hit the number, I could then go and have a one-on-one conversation with him, check his receptionist tracker, see what's going on there, and help troubleshoot to help him get better for the next hour. So we have rank your list, set up your board, and then 3 is you want to get your stats so that you're well prepared for your meeting. So get stats. And 4, you kind of want to figure out what's one thing you can teach them that day. Sometimes it's specific to that week. Generally, my favorite thing to teach them at every meeting is a new urgency phrase. So urgency phrases, or you address your concerns. So if there was like, for example, one week your PR show rocked, but the web, show sucked, then at the meeting, instead of teaching them an urgency phrase, you would kind of do like a mini, how to maximize your web workshop with them. Now, some urgency phrases that are like more specific throughout the summer is like, for example, like I think about if you're a branch, like the last week that you recruit for the summer, like that last week of interviews, an urgency phrase your receptionist could be telling people is like, hey, just so you know, this is actually the last week that my manager is conducting interviews, so fill in the blank, offer them a time, whatever. Or like even 4th of July weekend, you want to be able to give your receptionist, an urgency phrase that's urgent to that day. So I always like to keep that in like my pre-blitz setup so I don't forget, because a lot of the time on those like specific holidays that happen all throughout the summer, whether it's Mother's Day, Father's Day, even Memorial Day weekend, we can lose a lot of applicants if we don't preface it the right way. So that's kind of what happens pre-blitz. So now I'm going to give you my bullet points for the actual blitz meeting. I'm going to do it live for you real quick, and then we'll wrap up with what you have to do during the jam, which I kind of went through some of it here today. So here's kind of the agenda for every receptionist meeting if you want to write this down. So the first thing is what's hot. The main thing with receptionist meetings is you want to keep them as positive as possible, okay? So even when there's concerns, you don't necessarily want to be like, hey, it was an awful week this past week on the PR side of things. It's more like, guys, awesome job with the IAPs, the IAP efficiency this week. You guys did such a solid job on that. I just want to applaud you for that real quick. But one of our biggest areas of opportunity was our PR program. And I'm really excited because Jacob actually, his show was on standard, everybody. So let's give him a round of applause. Good job, Jacob. What do you think helped you get that? So that's kind of like the style of the meeting. It's not like when you're with your staff or like you've been in staff meetings where it's like, guys, what the heck are we doing? This is a completely different feel. It's more positive. So you always want to start with something positive and end with something positive. So I always like to start with what's hot. Number 2 is address hot stats. And by the way, some weeks the stats aren't so hot, and the only thing you can recognize was like the fact that there was a really great set number. Hey guys, this past week, I just want to congratulate you because we had an awesome set number. We had the biggest set number in, Sealy branch history. So great job, guys. Now, an area of opportunity is our show. It was 2%.
Oh my God. Wow.
So you want to celebrate the win. So you want to address the hot stats in the room on an office level. So I like to recognize the total stats for PRs and for non-PR. And the biggest thing that you can recognize, by the way, and the thing that's going to help you, really drive things. Every time I address this in a meeting, it's amazing how much that week they're focused on it, and then our numbers are through the roof, is same day. Always recognize your same day efficiency on an office level. Then, of course, you want to do the same stats, but individually. All right? After you do that, and you want to preface this to your receptionist, but I always call out, like, the top receptionist for the week, and I'm like, hey, Kyle, you had such a great, IAP show this week. You averaged, 89.7% on your IAP show, and you had a 67% PR show. What do you feel helped you do that, this week? Or what do you feel helped you improve? And I'll give them like 2 seconds to like say whatever it is, and I kind of preface that ahead of time. So I'll call out top receptionist. I'll teach, and when I say teach, it's not like team meeting teach, that's like 20 minutes. Teach to receptionist is literally 5 minutes, okay? Like, don't make this more complicated than it already is. So teach, or then it's not at all. So teach for 5 minutes, and then 5, you want to spit some vision at them. My brain just had a brain fart. Spit some vision at them. Cool. So now, any questions before I do the live meeting real quick?
So is the agenda, have we started yet when we're going into the agenda, or is it still pre-blitz?
No, this is agenda. So we go, what's hot? I have everybody say what's hot. Then I'll say what's hot. I address hot statistics on an office level and on an individual level with PR, non-PR, and same-day efficiency. After that, I'll call out my top receptionist. 4, I'll teach them something real quick. The most I'll take with that is 5 minutes, and then I'll wrap up with some vision for the day and goals. And by the way, in the vision, let me do a little subcategory here because this is something I always mention that gets them excited, is I thank them for setting people from training that have sold. So this is really small, so you can't see it at all. I just wrote it for fun, I guess. So I thank them for setting people from training that have sold. So I'll show you that in a second. So I thank them for setting people from training that have sold. Any other questions? And then we'll just, good?
Is this pre-blitz? Is that what you said?
Pre-blitz, yeah. So this is like before they start jamming, PR jamming, whether it's Saturday, whether it's Sunday, you want to do this. Yeah. So I don't like, this is going to be the first summer that we run 2 blitzes, one Saturday, one Sunday. And I'm pretty sure from my understanding from Kathy is I'm going to have all my receptionists at both. So I don't think I'll run this both days. I might do like a mini one another day where instead of recognizing all the stats, I'll just go like, what's hot, what's hot, teach and vision, just to like kick them off for the day. Because receptionists, they need to feel good before they call. That's the whole point of it. You just want them to feel good because if they feel good and like they're amped up, they're excited, they feel like they drank some Ignite, from like Elevated or whatever, then they're going to be ready to rock the day. Because if they're emotionally, at a high, then their calls are going to be that much better. So anyway, I'm going to get into it because I don't want to waste a lot of time, but I'm going to have, I guess, this section. So from just to make it small, from Jacob or from Ryan, from Tevin to Austin, we'll just do first row. So from Tevin to Austin, you guys are my receptionists. This is a really interesting group of receptionists here, but all right, cool. So, all right, good afternoon, guys. How are you guys doing? How's your weekend? It's pretty good, yeah? All right, well, you guys know the drill. Let's talk about what's hot. Austin, what's hot from this week personally, Cutco, whatever. Rapid fire round. What's hot?
I sat some people from on campus.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I love on-campus people. Daniel, what's hot with you?
Today I bombed the test, yeah.
And by the way, you'll have receptionists that say that, and you always want to bring the mood back up. So, Daniel, come on. You're a funny guy. Like, what else happened today? What's hot? What's hot from this week?
Well, I'm here.
Yeah, that is
Pretty
hot.
hot.
Yeah, I love when the Asians are on. Asian sensation. Brooke, what's hot?
I got a 96 on my bio test.
You what? I'm sorry?
I got a 96 on my
96
bio test.
on what? That's amazing. I always sucked at bio, so good job. Jacob, what's hot?
This phone call.
This phone call. Sweet.
Yeah.
I love it. Love
My
phone
mom.
calls. Your mom. I love when mom calls.
Okay.
I miss Gordon. Ryan, what's hot? Yeah, pass your classes. That's awesome. Anything else? No? Cool. And Tevin, what about for you? What's up?
I got a girl's number.
You got a girlfriend?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. This is the most scandalous receptionist meeting ever. All right, cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, guys, in case you're interested in knowing what's hot with me, this past weekend was amazing. I went to see a movie and I ran into LeBron James and it was a crazy night. I'm just kidding. That didn't happen. But anyway, what's hot is actually this training class, guys. Thank you so much for all your hard work this past week. They're just doing amazing. We launched out 16 people this week. Can you guys give yourselves a round of applause for me to launch out 16 people? Super fired up. Can you guys guess what they've sold so far? You're not going to believe this.
50,000.
20,000.
Guys, we are at $1 million for the summer. Great job. Great job. But anyway, I wanted to take this opportunity to just address some stats with you guys on an office level and on an individual level. I want to say solid job this past week with PRs. We hit our set number, which is amazing. The first week where our goal was to set over 400 PRs, and we hit it. We set 403 people. Solid job. Even more impressive was our PR show, guys. Guess what we averaged? We were at a 52 PR show for the week. Give yourselves a hand. That is awesome. Great job. We were number 1 in the region in set number. We were number 1 in the region in show. So awesome job. However, an area of opportunity for us, it was our our non-PR show, guys. And as we know, what sources are in our non-PR show, receptionists? iApps, Craigslist, sure. But where else? Campus mailers, right? And remember at the beginning of the summer, I was like, campus mailers, those are like 2 of our biggest ones of the year. Like, don't worry about it. We're not going to lose. So, like, we can still make up for this, okay? We can still make up for it by trying to generate as much same day as possible. And that's where we dropped the ball. If we look at our numbers from last week, our same day efficiency was a 6.3%. No bueno. But hey, guess what? You guys did such a great job with PRs and our PR same day. I'm confident we can do the same thing with our web show this week. On an individual basis, I want to say, Daniel Lee, you had the #1 PR show for this week. Give him a round of applause. Great job, Daniel. Great job. Guys, he was at a 93% PR show. Solid job. I mean, I was at 93.1, so, not as good as the master, but great job. I would never say that better. But great job, Daniel. And the #1 non-PR show for the week was actually none other than Mr. Tevin over here. So great job, Tevin, with the #1 IAP show for the week. Give him a round of applause. He had a 73% non-PR show. And our highest same-day efficiency was actually Mr. Jacob Gordon. So give him a round of applause. Great job, guys. But overall, and I think we already spoke about this, Daniel, you were the #1 receptionist for the week. What do you think helped you do so well this week versus last week?
Well, I listened to you and followed all the scripts.
You followed the scripts.
I didn't fall off of it.
Yeah, you didn't fall off the script. I mean, physically, that's impossible. But yeah, you didn't stray away from the script. Well, nice job, Daniel. So you hear that, receptionist? If you want to have a PR show like Daniel, you just got to follow that script. Anyway, I wanted to talk more about same day. Okay, so I know last week we went over this, but wanted to just go touch base on it one more time. Boom, same day workshop. La la la. Yeah, so guys, that's what we're gonna do in order to get our same day up this week. Check this out. If we get our same day up, if we look at last week's same day percentage, I know it was awful, 6.2%. If we only increased that by 2%, instead of being at $1 million in sales this week, guys, we would have been at $1.3 million in sales. Isn't that crazy? So all we have to do, and isn't it crazy that all we have to do is say one extra sentence in our approach in order to get more same day? Isn't that nuts? Do you guys think you can do that? Are you guys with me this week? Are we going to set a lot of same day?
Yeah.
Cool, sweet. So tonight we have a 6:45 interview. We currently have 7 people set. As you guys know, the goal for every interview is to have 25 set minimum. Do you guys think we can make it happen? Can we get those extra people set up today? Yeah, right? That line's going to help you guys a lot. Cool, sweet. So anyway, I just wanted, I wanted to thank you guys for setting up people from this past week. Ryan, just so you know, I know that you set up Riddy, this past week for her interview. She's at $6,000 for her first weekend on the job. So I just want to say thank you so much. I don't know if you know this, but when a representative hits $6,000, they start making 25% of everything that they sell. So you just made somebody make $1,000 this week. What a game changer. Can everybody give Ryan a round of applause? Thank you so much. It's because of you and the people that you set up that we're going to have some awesome assistant managers here in this office. And I can't wait for the day that you're teaching Riddy how to call PRs. That's going to be really cool. So thank you so much, Miranda. And Brooke, I want to say thank you so much for setting Miranda. She's at $22,000 for her first weekend on the job on the 2 orders. She has the biggest average order in our office this week. I want to say thank you so much for setting her. Without her, we wouldn't be at the $1 million in sales that we're at. And by the way, she expressed interest in branching. So how cool is it going to be when next year she's running her office and you get to give her girls tips on how to get more people like Miranda. So I just want to say thank you so much for getting her, set up for the week. So give Brooke a round of applause. And I would do that for, everybody in the training class that has sold. So again, thank you so much. I know we've already hit our goal of $1 million for the summer, but here's the big question is how can we get it to $3 million? How can we get to $3 million next week? I know that, you guys aren't directly affected by the sales in the office, or at least you don't think so, but you are. The more sales we have, the more hours you guys get, the more receptionists we get to have on our team, the more prizes, I get to give to you guys. And it's going to be really exciting at the end of the summer, where I have a really hard time, seeing some of you guys go, back to school. And that you were a part of something special, like our office hitting $7 million, for the summer. Like, that's never been done in Texas history. And on your resumes, you're not only going to be able to put that you were a receptionist for a quarter, billion-dollar company, and we got it to that billion-dollar mark. But anyway, so you're not only going to be able to put that on your resume, but you're also going to be able to put that you broke records and made history in the company. Does that sound pretty cool or what? So what you thought was just an hourly paid summer job is actually going to turn into a lot more. And I'm fired up for this week for you guys to set up a ton of people for interviews. So as you guys know, our goal tonight is to do set blank amount of people. I already have your list right here. So group 1, Austin, Daniel, I've got your stack of papers right here. You guys better be ready to rock the freaking crap out of this thing because we have some studs in here. Actually, Austin, I want you to call this list because you got, Freddie in last week, and this is his friend. This is his list right here. So I know you can get all of his friends in. So boom, there you go. You're going to focus on that. I want to see 20 people in from that list. You got it? All right, cool, man. Thank you so much. Daniel, you're going to start off with, you're going to start with Adrian's list because, you set up his buddy last week that came in and is just rocking the crap out of his faster. I know you can get all of his friends in. Cool. Brooke, you're obviously getting Miranda's list, like, no doubt about it. Jacob, you're getting this person. Ryan, this person. Kevin's this person. All right, let's bring it in. Team huddle. Ready to start chant. Go on 3. Go on 3. 1, 2, 3. Go. All right, cool. Boom. Receptionist meeting. That's it. And that's the meeting. Any questions on the meeting?
Yeah, that's really straightforward. I love it.
Yeah, that's it. All right, cool. So after that, after the meeting happens, really simple. Now that you have all this high energy, all you have to do is keep that energy going. It sounds simple, but it could actually be a lot harder than you think. Why? Because what is a receptionist's job to do? The same thing for 5 hours, right? So one thing that I like to do to keep them motivated is after they're setting their first, I don't do it every single person they set, but I do it like every third or fourth person that they set. I'll be like, Daniel, that sounded like an amazing call. Who did you just speak to? Oh, I spoke to this girl named Adriana. Cool. Tell me a little bit about the phone call. Just to keep them engaged and paying attention on the phone so that they know that you're kind of checking up on them. Because sometimes it's really easy to just go through the motions and then they forget the person that they spoke to on the phone. Your receptionist isn't there and intentional when you're like, hey, Brooke, who'd you talk to? And she's like, you're like, that's supposed to be like a great conversation that you were supposed to have with that person, So then you can go and talk to them individually about getting their energy up. And sometimes I've even had receptionists. I'm like, Brooke, you look like you've been working super hard, girl. You need to go take a lap. Just go walk real quick. You have 1 minute, 60 seconds. Just go take a lap, come back, sit down. Boom, they come back, high five them. All right, keep rocking it, But you just want to keep that energy going. It's actually a really exhausting thing to run a PR blitz properly. If you're doing it the right way afterward, you should feel like somebody sucks the life out of you. You should literally sit down in your chair and be like, oh, I gave them energy for 7 hours, Kathy used to always watch me and I would be running around. I would have my receptionist, we had this giant office in Miami. I don't even know how many square feet it was, but I would be jumping in one room and be like, how's it going, guys? All right, sweet, great, boom, boom, boom. Fist bump, high five, run to the other side of the room. And then I'd start the cycle all over again, 15 receptionists that were on my team, going to every single one. It's high fiving, and I would tell them, sometimes I'd pair them up and put them in teams. You could do that too. I'd be like group 1, you guys are together, group 2, you guys are together. I want to see who can set the most people. Whoever sets the most gets lunch on me or something. And I used to go to one room and be like, hey, Austin, Brooke is at 4 PRs, but you're at 2. Looks like she's going to get free lunch from me. Go to the other room. Hey, Jacob, Daniel's at this many PRs, and I just kind of drive them that way too. So anyway, it needs to be lots of energy, lots of positivity, and just preparation, so that they feel consistent. There's an actual plan and schedule set in place. Cool. So any final thoughts, questions, comments, haikus, rhymes, riddles? Jacob.
Okay, so yes, you have to be giving the callers energy. How do you keep the energy up physically, mentally?
That's a great question. Well, number 1 is don't party like a rock star the night before, or just make sure it's late enough in the day where you can sleep in. So sleep is obviously important, just like your body, what you're eating too is also important. But something that just keeps you energized is you also need to be setting people too. I don't know if you noticed this, but have you guys ever talked to a really sharp PR on the phone? Doesn't that get you excited? You're like, damn, this person, I'm going to set, I think really seen me do this in the office before. I'll talk to somebody that's really sharp and I'll just start walking around I look like a monster. I'm like stepping on things. I'm like pushing people. I'm like, move out of the way. Like, give me that list. It's mine. And I'll just sit there and I'm like, and then I'll go to my room and I'll like make calls and I'll run back and I'll be like, hey guys, I just set 6 PRs. And like it gives me energy, you know, to talk to sharp people. So if you don't have energy, pick up the phone, pick up a sharp list. I promise you, talking to those people is gonna get you energized because you're like, I just set the stud to come in and meet with me. I'm gonna get them to training. Like, you know, like those people are like your 30K, 40K, 20K pushers, like 10K fast starters. Like those people give you energy on the phone. And if physiologically you don't have energy, like, I don't know, do what I make the receptionist do. Like, go take a lap. Go jump on the trampoline. That's why we have a trampoline in the West Houston office to give us, like, energy to get us going, you know? So, any other questions? But that's a good question because there's definitely been times where I just don't feel like doing any of it. And I'm just like, you know? But you just have to think about, literally you have to think about that because of this tedious thing that happens, you're literally giving people an opportunity to, it sounds like, out there, but change their life, right? Like I remember, I can think of so many people that were called on a Blitz day that Vector changed their life forever. Like Mario, who came in, who was super sketched out about Cutco, set him on a Blitz day, texted me after, is this the knife thing? I don't know if I want to do the knife thing. I was like, dude, come in and check it out. Came in, $11,997 fast start. His PR chain sold over close to $500,000 for the year that we sold $2 million, you know? So just think about the next person that you're talking to on the phone. It could be the next Kathy Vasquez. It could be the next Austin Worthington, Daniel Lee, Jordan, Wasim. Like, you never know the people that you're talking to on the phone. So let that give you energy too. So anyway, any other questions?
Good.
You guys understand everything?
Yeah.
Was that clear enough for you?
Yeah.
All right. Now that I gave you some energy, I can breathe. All right, cool. So I think everybody should like stand up real quick, just stretch, so you can stretch your booties, stretch them booties, and then I guess Jordan. All right, we're gonna role play.
Where is the description of like the receptionist one, like the approach? Do they have that already?
No, I don't think Kathy printed it. Did she?
She said that's what she wanted to know.
Let's have.
Oh, yeah, it's all on everyone's phone. Okay, so go and grab a seat, please. Yeah. All right, grab a seat, grab a seat, grab a seat. Look next to the person to your right. To your right. Just kidding. No. No, so look to your partner that you probably role played with, look at them, and then high five them and say, "You're awesome." All right, that was like really weak sauce. Some of you didn't do that. So let's try that one more time and actually mean it when you tell them that. Don't be like, "Yeah, you're awesome," whatever. So one more time. You're awesome. You're awesome. Let's go. That was like way better. All right, so what we're going to do right now is to learn the verbiage of how to describe like the actual position really simply and quickly. So in your phone, if you're part of the group me, on the like DM or the championship, Kathy posted that. So what we're going to do is going to role play that for a few minutes so you just have the verbiage down. Seems so excited. Just intense glare at me.
Jordan, you always get me excited.
Yeah, thanks.
Whoa.
Man. So but we're going to go through that. So we're going to go role play that through a few times, probably about 5 times each. So you just have the verbiage down. You feel really comfortable going through. And then from there we will pick up. So obviously we can kind of spread out. Let's try to stay in this room. Grab a partner with someone that you have not worked with before. So someone else. So work with someone you have not worked with and you might not know either.
Oh, is this the
Ideally.
approach?
This is the clipboarding approach. Agreed, yeah. So go ahead and stand up. You should have that on there. And if you don't have it on your group meet, then grab someone that does. So everyone that's branching, hold on guys, everyone that's branching or running the district office, go ahead and raise your hand. Cool. So they all should have it on the group meet. If you're not, and it should be already on there. But you can work with them. So go ahead and stand up. Let's role play about 5 to 6 times each until I say stop. So ready, set, end.
Go.
Go.
I want a newbie.
Yeah. Calling me. Yes.
Okay. Let's do it.
This would be amazing. You could just see that step.
Welcome to campus.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah. You are, right? Oh, that's probably true. Hey, good morning. Do you have to open that mic for work?
No, not really.
Oh, were you looking for work? I'm not saying, okay, well, so when you're looking for work, okay, so can you give us some information about it? Okay, well, okay, well, I'll be back. What? I'll sit. That's student. That's late. The jobs are like customer service. We actually offer runner scholarships in perhaps a lot of college and high school seniors, but we do have non-seniors, non-students as well. Our starting pay is actually $16.
Yeah, you know that.
Great. Actually, the link that has more information says I did so yeah, I mean, you made that really hard. No. That's like high something.
No, not really. I can send you some information as I know you're really good. You're like, I already know this shit. No. I'm gonna stop it.
I wouldn't say that.
Wait, you can earn college credit. So, like, we follow that without.
Yeah, actually, you can see
So, where do I
Our reps just answer questions, products. They have customer service. All right. Well, it's just scripted out, and so they have like specific things in order. And it's good to have that instead of what's going on. So,
I actually just had like one more class today, and then
I have my number too, so
I was like, wait, that was oh, I was a mailer, so mailers were here. I got like 2 mailers, and I was like, oh, sorry. I was like, I'm working out, I started in. I probably would have started there so I was also in high school too, so. Okay. Good morning. How are you? Did you get a comment? Yeah, like, you know. I don't know, my people do for work. Essentially, the job you can treat all the customer sales and service for national sheet of work designed to teach skills and communication skills, interpersonal skills, time management, organization, and networking, among many others. We offer 100 scholarships annually and college credit, so the job does attract a lot of college students and high school students. Basically, our representatives work with customers one-on-one, face-to-face. We don't do any door-to-door, telemarketing, cold calling, or canvassing. They show our products, answer questions, and help them place orders. We feel pretty comfortable with taking our customers one-on-one. Okay, better time to learn. Okay, great. Actually, everyone else has confirmation. If you have something to apply or anything that you're so what's your perfect. So and you still have people where you or you know someone were you looking for work or you know someone?
I'll pass it over if I know the job.
Well, actually, what's your schedule look like today?
I get into school at 4.
But you get out of it. Oh, they said in it. Okay. Well, actually, it's a interview at 5:45. That's when they can cost you like. Do you know where Galleria is? It's like maybe 15 minutes away from campus. So is that something you can make?
Yeah, I think so.
No, okay. I'll actually let my manager know. I put my name in with the application when I sent it to you. So just put your name down. Now, text me your email real quick, and I'll send you a copy of the address and you can tell your office. I'm looking forward to seeing you later. You were walking around.
That was much last year. Anyways.
And then she called you.
Yeah.
I just got letters in the mail. But actually, I was looking on like on Facebook, and this kid goes, "Family looking for work." It was like the summer. I was like, "No, it's the summer before you did." And I was like, "Oh snap!" I was always too hard. I never because it said you had to 17 or 18, and I was only 16. So I was like, I could have started 2 years ago.
It's free, it's blue, sharpened, it's ready to go. Just for you.
Oh, so I can go take when I go take my test?
Yeah, absolutely. You have one later today?
What?
You have a test today?
I do.
And what class?
Texas government.
Oh, this is
I do too. It's just like
a test.
I think I get this.
All right, guys, go and stop and stop. Alrighty, so how many of you guys went over it like 5 times each? Yes? Some of you didn't raise your hand, so that's okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do, though. This is like something that Kathy really wants, like the verbiage, so everyone's like on point. So we're going to go through it a few more times. We're going to actually switch partners with someone you also have not met yet. So go ahead and switch. We'll do like 5 more times when you have not met yet or haven't worked with role-playing yet, ideally. So, all right, ready, set, and go. Another extra 5 times each.
Just really excited.